Well, our next inductee is a guy that had a fairly good career for the University of Montana, all Big Sky, lineman of the year, kind of turned things around for the University of Montana out of Aberdeen, Washington. Played for the Grizzlies from 1976 through 1980. Was a great student, a 4-year starter for Montana, all Big Sky, Division I AA All-American, lineman of the year. You know, the accolades go on and on for Mr. Guy Bingham. And I want to have one guy stand up tonight, and we haven't recognized him tonight, but he's in the crowd, and I'll tell you why. There's a number of reasons, but he just retired from Skyview High School as the only coach ever at at Skyview, and he's with us tonight, Mr. Ron Lebsock. Ron, would you stand up? What a great career he had. You know, and one of the claims to fame for Guy Bingham when he was in the NFL is he was a great long snapper. And he'd never long snapped until he got to the University of Montana. And he had an upperclassman by the name of Ron Lebsock that taught him how to long snap. They used to stay after practice and long snap together. I always wondered, Ron, did you get any of the money that he made in the NFL for teaching him how to long snap? So I think you're going to have to talk to a guy about that before he leaves. He was drafted in the 9th round by the New York Jets, played 9 years with the Jets, 3 years with the Atlanta Falcons, and a couple years with the Washington Redskins. Now you talk about a guy that played that many years in the NFL when the average is about a little over 3 years for an NFL career. And he handled the wars of the National Football League. 199 games as a deep snapper, a member of the Grizz Hall of Fame. Back in Missoula, where he owned a vending business and has done very well with that. A super guy and a great supporter. He has kids in the Missoula Public Schools. Great supporter of athletics in the state of Montana. Let's turn our attention to the screen for Mr. Guy Bingham. Ladies and gentlemen, for induction into the Montana NFL Football Hall of Fame, Mr. Guy Bingham.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a big crowd. I'm really pleased that everybody could attend tonight. This really is an honor, and I'm just pleased to be here. And it's been so much fun, and everybody's been great. I could stand up here all night and say thank you to all the different people that I've met this weekend. And but I got to be sure to mention Rick Holmes. Made sure he changed things around for me so I could get here, and the committee for selecting me. And it really is an honor to be included. I look at the past inductees like Naseby Reinhardt and Mike Tillman, Jan, Bill Kolar, one of the old coaches, and it is just amazing, you know. I know it was 14 years in an extremely competitive business, you know, so that was pretty good, but it just seems like a small achievement compared to, you know, some of the people you hear about and the other people that are in the hall. It really is. I was going to introduce Ron Levsock, but that's already been done. I want to mention that my old roommate and teammate, Jim Hogan, who just finished a really successful career at Carroll College. Yeah. All right. I think, stand up, Hogan. I think he had 6 national championships, NAIA Strength Coach of the Year for the entire country, and he owes it all to me. I got to thank Marv Sunderland, scout that discovered me and Rocky, I think, from Chester. He probably has the longest NFL career of anybody. He's been a scout and personnel director for a long time. He, I think, got both Rocky and I drafted to the Jets. And I got to thank my agent. He'd be really excited about this. And unfortunately, he passed away 5 years ago. Ken Stanager, he's represented a lot of Montana guys in the NFL and did a great job for me and was my business partner and just a really good friend. My football journey has been humbling. I came to Montana, best decision I ever made, and thought I was going to be a badass inside linebacker. And that lasted about 5 minutes. After we got done stretching, they sent me down with the offensive lineman, and so I made myself at home there and got used to it. Most guys that get an opportunity to play college football are pretty good high school football players, and they show up to college and they think that they've really got it going on because they're past success in high school. But at each step of the way, it's just, you get humbled. I get to Montana, and in the locker room, there's Doug Betters, a future defensive MVP of the NFL. There's Terry Falcon, a 5th-round draft choice, I think, of the New York Giants or the New England Patriots. And then Greg Anderson, first-team All-American kickoff returner. And, you know, you're just surrounded by, you know, so many superb athletes and, you know, just great guys, too. And they become your teammates, and that's the best part of it, I got to say. In my freshman class, we had 4 guys actually got to have tryouts in the NFL. Alan Green from Anaconda, Kent Clausen from Aberdeen, South Dakota, and Greg Dunn tried out with the Seahawks from Medical Lakes, Washington, over by Spokane. And Marv just, you know, found me snapping the ball, and that's why I got drafted. You know, I could bend over and look between my legs and throw the ball pretty well. So you get to New York, and I'm a 10th round pick, and our first 4 picks were from Texas, Oklahoma, Michigan, and Penn State. And the number 1 pick had just won a gold medal at the Olympics. So it's like, what am I doing here? It's like, Montana wasn't exactly a football factory back then. But, you know, you keep your head down, you work hard, and you compete. And I made the team. And just share with you, I think, a unique experience. You know, it's the way the game was played back then. We were playing the Baltimore Colts in Baltimore. And I snap the ball, and I take off down the field to cover, try to get the punt returner. And I'm running, and I just start to make the turn. You're starting to feel like, oh, I got a chance to tackle this guy. And from out of nowhere, Roosevelt Leaks, fullback from the University of Texas, gets me right in the ear. And first thing that hits the ground is my head, and I get up, and it's like, well, it didn't hurt, but he broke the face mask off my helmet. And I've never seen that happen before or since. I think I had the hardest hit ever in the NFL. And another one is Doug Betters and I played against each other once in a game in Miami. The Jets always finished the season, playing either Miami and New York or New York and Miami. And they did a game with no color commentary. And it was just the PA announcer. And apparently it didn't go over too well because that, I believe, was the only one. But it's like, you tell people about that. It's, another humbling experience is at the Jets. I can't remember what year it was, Rocky, but both of our starting tackles held out for a better contract. And I was given the task of being the left tackle, and another poor guy, Ted Banker from Southeast Missouri State, he was going to be the right tackle, and we were both guards and centers. And we go through training camp, and you know, we do our best, and we have some success in the preseason, and actually had to play against Lawrence Taylor, and for probably half of one of the preseason games, and so made Lawrence's highlight film. But they still didn't sign the starting tackles, so we open up in Los Angeles against the Raiders, and on my side is Lyle Alzado, and on Teddy's side is Howie Long. 11 sacks later, and 31-0, they signed those two tackles on Monday. But it went on to, you know, I went back in where I was supposed to be, and we had a successful season, made the playoffs. But it was a little humiliating. And my older brother in Seattle, we didn't talk all that often back then, and so he called me and said that, you know, there used to be Len Dawson and Nick Bonacani they'd review all the Sunday games, either Sunday night or maybe even a Monday night before the Monday night game. And so my brother John calls me up and he goes, "Hey, some guy said you look like Pee Wee Herman trying to block Lyle Alzado." Good to hear from you, John. Yeah, thanks. So I made a career out of, you know, throwing that ball back between my legs, and I'm proud to say that I've been knocked on my ass by some of the best defensive linemen to ever play in the NFL. And yeah, I was bull rushed by Reggie White, and I think body slammed by Lyle Alzado, and got a holding penalty against Howie Long. But in truth, though, it's like I did get to play a little bit. We won a few games in New York and went to quite a few playoffs. But it did all start with Ron Lebsock out behind the field house, right by Mount Sentinel. But again, I'm really pleased and honored to be part of this, you know, tradition, and I congratulate the Petrinos and how do you say their name? Roloffs. Roloffs. I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
You know, I had the opportunity to work for a great guy, president of Rocky Mountain College, Dr. Bob Wilmoth, and he's like the only New York Jets fan I ever met in Billings until Guy and Rocky came back. So this is a big night for Dr. Wilmoth with two former New York Jets going into the Montana NFL Hall of Fame. So Dr. Wilmoth, I hope you're enjoying this tonight.